What's up guys, Mad Fragger back again. I got another video for you, and today I'm not doing a fragrance review video. I'm going to do something a little different. I like to do some different content on the channel besides just reviews, and today what I want to do is I want to tell you 12 and some honorable mentions of what I feel are the best fragrance content creators out there between YouTube and TikTok. Some of them do both. Some of them are just YouTube. A lot of these have Instagram as well. But fragrance content creators that I feel are the 12 best. And I'm going to just kind of go down the list and tell you a little bit about each one of them. Been doing this fragrance journey here for a while now, and in the time that I've been doing this, these are the content creators that I've taken inspiration from. These are the channels that I have watched for information and for insight, and again, like I said, for inspiration. The reason that I decided to do my own fragrance reviews is based in part a lot on some of these channels have really inspired me to get into this hobby of collecting fragrances and reviewing fragrances. So I just want to go over this list here real quick with you guys, and hopefully you guys will find someone. I'll mention somebody on this list that you guys will go check them out, and you'll be able to get some really useful information from them, just as I have. So starting out at, and I have a cheat sheet here. I'm not going to remember all these off the top of my head, of course, but I'm going to start out with number 12, and that's going to be Rotten Rebel. And I watch Rotten Rebel on YouTube, and the guy's name is Rebel Darwish. Sometimes he has, it was Sandra Solomon. A lot of times she'll be on the channel with him. He does lists. He does a lot of different fragrance-related content. He kind of it runs the gamut from I've seen him do clones, I've seen him do designer, I've seen him do niche. Very informative. He has really good review videos, and he's really good at giving you an explanation of what fragrances are and what they're doing. Great review channel. Number 11, Justin Copeland. He is a good friend of George Zaharoff, as is another reviewer on this list, Ross from TLTG. And these guys are both, really good reviewers. And Justin, although Justin does do a lot of fragrances that are kind of, he reviews fragrances that are a little out of my price range for the most part, but he will review designer and some clones from time to time. But mostly his channel is kind of upper end stuff, but it's still a great channel to watch, a great channel to enjoy. He has great editing, very entertaining videos, really great reviewer. Number 10, Hunter Abbott from Fragrance Hunter. This is one of the first ones that I started watching when I first started getting into fragrances. He does really great content. He goes from, I've seen him do clones, designer, niche, really good reviews. He's really in depth. He has a really great way of explaining a fragrance and explaining everything about it in a way that you can understand. Great channel. Number 9, Melissa Nacional. Now, this particular number here at number 9, there are 3 female fragrance reviewers that I watch that review men's fragrances, men's fragrances. Now, I know that that most fragrances are unisex, and I'm really of the opinion that it doesn't have to be a men's fragrance or a women's fragrance, that you can go both ways. Women can wear men's fragrances, men can wear women's fragrances. It's just whatever's your personal preference. But I do like to watch a female reviewer, not only to get a female perspective on men's fragrances, because let's face it, a lot of times you guys are guys are looking to get a fragrance to impress women, of course. So getting a woman's opinion, I feel, is pretty important on what a woman thinks, how good a fragrance is to a woman, and also I really respect a woman who is willing to wear. A fragrance that may be considered to be a masculine fragrance. I really have a lot of respect for, really for anyone who will just wear what they like, and it doesn't matter what it's marketed as, whether it's marketed as feminine or marketed as masculine. And Melissa Nacional is my favorite of the now you've also got Eau de Erica. She has a really great channel. She's gorgeous. She does really good reviews. And Curly Fragrance, also really entertaining. Mostly designer and niche. She doesn't get into a whole lot of bargain fragrances, budget fragrances, or clone fragrances, but she does do a really, really good job of the content she does put out. And but I mean, there's three that I really watch as far as female fragrance reviewers that review men's fragrances. But Melissa Nacional made the list because she's just my favorite of the three. Love her channel. Love the way that she has a real straight, no nonsense approach to reviewing fragrances, and I love it. So next on the list is going to be at number 8, Post Cologne. Now, I don't know his real name. I have tried to look and see what his real name. I'm not sure what his actual real name is, but I know he's Canadian. I can tell by the way he talks. I mean, that's not meant to be a dig in any way, shape, or form. I love the Canadian accent. I love that accent that Canadians have, and I can tell by watching his channel. I could tell right away he was Canadian, and he's mentioned on the channel a couple times that he's Canadian. But great reviews, great. He runs the gamut of fragrances, like clear from budget, clear up to niche, and does a great job. Great channel, really entertaining. Check him out. You'll love his channel. Post Cologne. At number 7, Joy Amin. Good evening from Bangladesh. Like, I love his intro. I love his whole thing. The thing with Joy Amin, the greatest thing about his channel is that he has got, I think, one of the largest varieties, one of the largest selections of, like, if there's a fragrance that you want to know about and you look it up, chances are Joy Amin is going to have a review of that fragrance. Like, he's just got so much content. I think he's been doing it for a long time. He has been doing it for a very long time because he's just got an immense amount of content and just covers so many fragrances, everything from budget rack store fragrances to clone fragrances to designer to niche. Covers the whole thing. And again, like I said, a huge repertoire of reviews to choose from. Like I said, if you pick a fragrance that you want to look up and check out, chances are really good that he's done a review on it. Okay, so that's Joy Amin, great channel. Number 6, Aromatics. Neeb Aromatics from the channel Aromatics. Neeb does really great content. I like that he does a lot of like, he'll go to fragrance conferences and frag cons and stuff like that, and you know what I mean, put up content where he's like live on location there. He does a lot of live videos, like where he does live discussions. If you want he does a lot of covers a lot of Middle Eastern fragrances. He knows a lot about Middle Eastern fragrances, and he covers not only the ones that are trending and you know what I mean, what's kind of like out there already, but you'll find reviews on Middle Eastern fragrances on his channel that maybe you haven't heard of that you'd want to check out. But yeah, definitely a great place to go to look at content that has Middle Eastern fragrances, or Middle Eastern fragrances are involved. Not to say that that's all his channel is, by far, it's not. But that's just one thing about his channel that I'd like to mention that I like about it, is he definitely has a great knowledge of Middle Eastern fragrances. So Number 5 is going to be TLTG reviews with Ross Carlos. Now, I just recently noticed that Ross made the list. I think it was top 20 influencers, and not just fragrance influencers. I mean influencers across the board. Out of all influencers, he's on the list of top influencers as a fragrance influencer, and so is number 3 on the list, which is Ashton Kirkland from JentSense. They're both on that list. But yeah, TLTG has great reviews. Again, he's also one of those guys. He's good friends with George Zaharoff, and I seen him do a lot of Zaharoff fragrances on his channel. He does everything from rack store clear up to niche. He covers the whole thing. He has a great way of getting across his content. He's entertaining. He's informative. Really, really great content. A good channel to check out. I've been watching him for a long time. That's TLTG Fragrances, TLTG Reviews with Ross Carlos. Now, coming in at number 4 is Chaos Fragrances with Dallas Dodra is the host. And this is one that I've been watching from the beginning, that one of the first ones that I started watching, and I really, really love his approach. I love his delivery. I love the information that he gives you is very easy to understand, and he really has a way of describing a fragrance that like really puts you inside the fragrance, where you can get a good idea of what it's like, and he does a great job of it. Excellent channel. Definitely try to check him out. Chaos Fragrances. That's his name's Dallas Dodra, and he's great. Coming in at number 3 is, as I mentioned, JentSense with Ashton Kirkland. Now, JentSense is probably one of the more popular fragrance review channels. He does everything from reviews to lists to other fragrance related content. He does lives. He does just about anything that has to do with fragrances. He has content. He'll do discussions or lists of not just fragrances, but like topics that are related to fragrance, like everything that has to do with fragrance. JentSense, Ash from JentSense is there. I've been watching his channel since the very beginning. It's one of the first channels I started watching for fragrance reviews. I feel like it's one of the most popular out there, and he just has a way of being able to entertain you, but give you great information, and like, again, one of those guys that's really able to explain a fragrance in a way that you can understand. He's great. Awesome. He has his own fragrance line that he did collaborating with Michael Malal, and then he also in the past had his own fragrances with his own fragrance house. Just absolutely one of the best. Just because he's not number 1 on my list doesn't mean that he's probably number 1 on a lot of people's lists. But excellent reviewer, excellent content, great channel. JentSense, Ashton Kirkland, shout out to you. You're one of my favorites. Top 3, love you. All right, so at number 2 is going to be Cuba No. And now this channel is hosted by Angel Alonso. If you're looking for a fragrance review channel where you're going to be entertained, this is the one to check out. Even if you're somebody who's not into fragrances, like for instance, my wife is not a big fan of fragrances. She's not into it. She's not about it. She's not here for it. I don't know how many different ways I can say it, but she loves watching Cuba's videos regardless, because whether you're a fragrance lover or not, and especially if you are somebody who's into fragrances, Cuba No is an awesome fragrance review channel. He does rack store, he'll do clones, he'll do designer, he does niche, he does everything, and just the way that he does videos is second to none. His intro is, I love it. His saying is biggest in the game, and I feel like he is, to me, one of the biggest in the game. He does the cool thing at the beginning of his videos where he's like, C to the U to the B to the A, and then it comes up on the screen. He's been doing that since the very beginning. I've watched his videos clear back from when he was doing videos in his bedroom with like a cell phone and like no production value. And nowadays he's got huge production value in his videos. Like the studio is awesome. His content is great. His editing is superior. He's funny. His guests that he has on the channel, like Ja, for instance, there's a guest that he brings on the channel. Ja is just, he'll have you rolling out of your chair laughing. Excellent, excellent content. The only reason that he's not at number one is because I could not determine who I thought would be at number one and at number two. To me, 1 and 2 on my list are both number one. Like I couldn't choose between the two, so I just, you know what I mean? I just put them down how I put them down. But that's not taking anything away from the channel, from Cuba, from Angel Alonso. Like he is just absolutely wonderful, and I say he's number 1/2, however you want to look at, however you want to look at it. And then number 1 is a channel called School of Scent, and it's hosted by Omar Mansour out of the UK. Really can't give you any like specific reason why, but just to me, again, remember this entire list is just my personal preference, my personal opinions, and the way that he is able to break down a fragrance and talk about it and explain it is second to none. He's got a variety of content that he covers. He also does videos where he'll roast collections, but he has a way of roasting collections without being like, you know, condescending or judging or judgy, or like, you know, he's not bagging on people's stuff. He's just got a really funny, entertaining way of roasting other like people's fragrance collections and stuff like that. And he does something on his channel that is really cool that I really love, where he'll say, like, for instance, like, I bought all of the Versace Eros so you don't have to. I bought all of the Nishan fragrances so you don't have to. Like, he does videos where he just basically, he'll cover like an entire house or an entire line. And basically, isn't that what fragrance reviews are supposed to be? Is the reviewer telling you, getting the fragrance, telling you what the fragrance is about, so that you can make an informed decision on if it's something that you would be wanting to pick up or not. And he just embodies that concept so well, and you know, just let you know, like, if I want to know if there's a fragrance I'm interested in and I want to know if it's one that I should check out or not, this is just the first channel that I'm going to go and check and see if he has a review on it, because it's just my favorite. Again, this is all personal opinion. This is all in my opinion. But out of all of them, School of Scent, my favorite channel, my favorite reviewer, Omar is, and I can't say enough about him or the channel or the content. And I encourage everybody to check out School of Scent on YouTube, and he also is on TikTok. So check him out. I think you'll really like his content. And then to wrap this up, I just had a few honorable mentions. And the reason is these 3 are all great and could all be in this list, okay? But for specific reasons, they're not in the list. They're honorable mentions. And here's why. Okay, so first you got The Fragrance Apprentice and The Perfume Guy. Both of these excellent review channels. The reason that they're not on the list is this list is formulated based on my opinions and based on my preference, and I don't have the financial means to afford higher end designer and niche fragrances most of the time. So these 2 channels, The Fragrance Apprentice and The Fragrance Guy, are both great review channels. They just typically tend to cover fragrances that are out of my price range, if you know what I'm saying. And so the third honorable mention is going to be Aaron Terrence Hughes. And the reason it's an honorable mention and not on the list is because Aaron has a very specific and different way that he reviews fragrances. He's very technical about his reviews. He is a perfumer. He does have his own line of fragrances, which are excellent. I've tried some of them. I'd like to try a lot more of them, but they are a little bit higher, or they're niche perfumes, and they're a little higher, cost a little more. But he has a way of reviewing a fragrance that gives you all the technical aspects and the chemistry behind it, and like the real like nuts and bolts of a fragrance. And I love that. I love the style of it. I love the reviews. I like to watch his reviews of fragrances, but it's just not, I feel like his reviews are just a little bit different than some of these others, and so I figured it better to be a honorable mention rather than be on the list, because it's not a channel that I specifically go to make a determination on if I'm going to get a fragrance or not most of the time. But I do love to watch him. I do love his channel. I love his mannerisms, and his delivery, and everything about him is great. But just like I said, it's much more of a technical review of fragrances. He doesn't really care much about presentation that much. He kind of, most of the time he'll throw the box aside, and he's just not big on presentation, and which makes sense. I mean, he's a perfumer, and the juice is what's the star of the show. And although I do agree with the fact that the juice is the most important part, I also am a big believer in the fact that presentation is a lot of a fragrance as well. So that's my list. I just wanted to let you guys know, if you're out there and you're looking for fragrance reviews, there's a fragrance you're interested in and you're looking for a review to, obviously I would prefer that you come to my channel. If there's a fragrance that I've reviewed on my channel, I try my best to always give you the best information and give it to you in a way that you can enjoy. And I would hope that you would come to my channel if there's a fragrance I have on my channel that you're interested in. But if it's something that I don't have on my channel, or you want to get a different opinion on a fragrance, these are all really, really good review channels that I've been watching since I started this journey. And I'd recommend any of these channels to anybody who's into fragrances. And they are all really great reviewers and really great content creators in general. So that's my list. Thank you for watching my video today. I know it was a long one. I know that there's a lot of talking and not a lot of reviewing fragrances in this video, but I just wanted to put this out there in case there's somebody out there who's looking to find some new fragrance content reviewers to check out. And these are all ones that I've been watching for a long time, and I stand behind every one of them. Please go check these guys out in your fragrance journey, as I have in mine. Thank you for watching today. I'm the Mad Fragger, and I'll see you next time.